Well, moving now from a holiday to another topic, choosing a career. This is quite an interesting topic. Of course, it's one of the main steps in anyone's life. What career matches your abilities and your skills? And on what basis should you decide that this job is the one for you? Well, Raghda ElSaeed, the interpersonal skills trainer, is with us here in the studio to tell us more about it. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, Raghda. So you are an interpersonal skills trainer, and this title looks like you can do a lot to a person. You can change their characters into motivated people, full of hope, and could be able to plan for their future. So choices are many, but to be able to pick up a specific one amongst lots of choices, this is the thing that lots of people worry about. So when do you think is the best time to be able to say that I could be planning for my future and my career?
Actually, when we were kids, whenever they ask us, what do you want to be in the future? A doctor? I think most of us were wanted to be doctor or a policeman. A doctor and a policeman.
Girls, maybe teacher.
Yes, and a girl a teacher. Or you will find that someone wants to be like her mom. Whatever her mom is, she wants to be like her mom. So it differs from a child, and then in the preparatory stage, they have to decide. They have to decide at third prep whether I'm going to go to literary section or science section. Because if I need to go if I want to be a doctor, I need to concentrate. So it's the best time is in the preparatory stage to be ready. You know, it's preparing yourself. It's actually the name on the concept itself, to be prepared to enter a new life. Mm-hmm. And you have to develop those skills. You have to see where and which skill do I have. I'm interested in business administration. I'm interested in computer science, in graphics, in whatever, and I see what, or he sees or she sees what she wants to be in, and then she enters the literary or the science section. Then the other stage is the university itself. What career do they want to decide to do?
This is mainly teenage years, and a lot of people at this age, they kind of conform to the group. For example, if I find that my friends are going to the science section and they're studying biology and chemistry, I want to be with them, regardless of what my abilities or my skills are. But how can someone this young, for example, know what their abilities are really, or their interests?
Actually, they are not young anymore, because I see my daughters are about 15 and 16 years. Everyone has her laptop, and everyone is planning things, and she's telling me, I want to enter economics and science. I told her, this is a really different thing than I thought. I thought that you will be an engineer. You love geometry, for example. She told me, no, I don't want to be an engineer. I love geometry, but this doesn't mean that I will stick to geometry for the rest of my life. So they are able, I think, with the help of their parents.
But so it's not necessary that they are excelling in a specific subject, that they continue with it.
Yes, because, you know, I can be good in geometry, but I cannot be an engineer. You know, this is the issue, and then you will find the parents have a great role in this. Some parents force their children to study medicine, for example, because all the family are doctors. So they need to have another doctor in the family, and this is a terrible or a fatal mistake to be done to any child or any student, because what's going on, you're going to force him to take a career that he doesn't love, or he's not interested at all in it. So he had to, you know, at this age, even if they are a group or they can go together to something, they will see what's the fashion. It's like fashion, you know, like business administration. Wow, everybody's joining business administration. Like, you know, computer science, everybody's joining computer science. So it's a matter of fashion, and it's okay. It's okay if they follow this according to their friends, but they have to excel in it or to improve in it.
Well, Raghda, you raised a very important point. You talked about the trends of the hour. Let me put it that way. Sometimes you keep chasing a trend that is going around, but that is not you. So how can we explore the gifted talents inside us and know how to improve and work on our real skills in order to be able to compete when we go through an interview or something?
You said a very important part, Dina, going through an interview. You know, 10 years or 15 years ago, when you read an advertisement in the newspaper, you'll find that they have to be excelled in English and computer. Nowadays, everybody is excelled in English and computer. What differentiates between one and another are the interpersonal skills. These are the skills. Interpersonal skills are interpersonal or inner skills in every person. So they can develop. They differ from one person to another. So this is the most important thing to be taken or to be developed in order to be accepted in a job. I'm not saying choosing a career now. I'm saying to be accepted in a job. You have to have communication and interpersonal skills. You know, 1,000 persons are applying for a job, and all the 1,000 are faculty of engineering. They have computer and they have English. How can I choose from this 1,000 100 persons according to their skills and abilities? How do they communicate? How do they have eye contact? How do they have these things? You know, when I made these courses, or I gave these courses before, I found someone telling me, how can I gain self-confidence? Can I be trained to have self-confidence? I told them, of course you can be trained to have self-confidence. You know, you have to wear a mask of a self-confident person. You have to put in your mind and, you know, like meditate that this is not the end of the world, and if you're not going to be accepted in this job, it's okay, you're going to be accepted in another one. So it's a matter of an overall package. You know, it's a communication skills, presentation skills, attending an interview. And I always say to my students, attend as much interviews as you can. You know, read the newspaper. You don't have to be, you know, you don't have to be an engineer. You can be an engineer and you can enter a sales job or anything for an interview. So it's okay. You don't have to be the same in the same trend or the same path to enter this interview. Just go in many interviews as much as you can and excel in them, and train yourself to meet other people. Train yourself in being asked embarrassing questions, or the questions that can be asked in the interviews.
You were talking about parents' role in guiding their children to the right career path. What is the role exactly? When should they assist their children on making a decision, especially that sometimes the children are reluctant to hear from parents? They're more acceptable of what their peers say rather than their parents.
Actually, parents have a great role, but they need to be trained also. You know, it's not what they want their children to be, it's what their children must be. You know, I can see, for example, my daughter or my son, he can be a doctor or an engineer, but actually he's not interested at all in these things. What shall I do? Shall I force him to go on it? Of course not. I have to see what other trends. Forcing the parents' role in forcing their children or their students or their children, they have to force them if they find them going to another or a different or a wrong path. For example, someone is clever and he doesn't want to go into the national system or the secondary system and want to go to any other institute that is not a high institute or something.